Creating shorts is the fastest way to grow a YouTube channel from scratch. ChatGPT and the newest video editing software make it easier than it ever has been to create them. But it's a lot to navigate if you're not experienced with AI, content creation, and video editing. So I want to remove as many barriers to success as I can while automating as many aspects of the process as possible. I've been fine-tuning this process to edit shorts for my main channels, but also to build faceless YouTube channels with short and long-form content. I'm focusing on shorts here because I think that's the best way to get started. Then all the skills and techniques you learn through that process transfer to long-form content as soon as you're ready. I'll cover every aspect of this system, getting ideas, scripting, editing, everything. And I have packed in pro tips from over 10 years of YouTube experience, so I would encourage you to watch this all the way through so you don't miss anything. This is the demo short we make by the end of this video.
The fog in San Francisco once concealed a secret government experiment. Meet Operation Sea Spray, a classified operation by the US Navy back in 1950. For 6 chilling days.
That's just the beginning of the clip, but you get the picture. ChatGPT came up with that idea and wrote the script. The voiceover was automated and it's easy editing anyone can do. I'll show you every step. ChatGPT has been a complete game changer. It can do a massive amount of the work for you, but there's a couple problems most people encounter here. Number one is you need to know what type of language to use to prompt ChatGPT properly to get the best results. Number two is knowing which questions to ask requires specific knowledge about YouTube and content creation. If you just say, write me a script for a YouTube short, it's not going to do you any good. I've spent the last couple weeks refining prompts for this that you can just copy and paste from the description. Now, let's look at the niches to choose from. Identify the 25 most profitable YouTube niches in 2023. This will be easier if you pick something you already have some knowledge about. That's not entirely necessary since we can get so much of the content from ChatGPT, but fact checking is easier if you're familiar with the topics and it's more fun. I've already narrowed this list down to the 10 niches I think are easiest to start a faceless channel in. If you choose to use your face, it is easier to create brand recognition. It's more relatable, but it's not necessary. I've already got this channel that I pour a lot of time into, so I developed this system to create videos that are faceless, fast to create, and easy to automate. With the tool I teach at the end, all of your stock footage, text animations, and music are built right into the platform, and you can use templates to batch edit your videos with. So let's start with one of the easiest niches that I actually started this channel with, just interesting facts and stories. There are tons of channels that do really well with this. Here's a big one.
This is the deadliest scorpion of all. To give you some perspective.
This is their Social Blade monthly earnings estimate, by the way, which is usually very underestimated. There's many unique ways to approach this, but an easy one is this prompt. What are the 10 craziest yet widely unknown facts about celebrities, movies, former presidents, food, any topic you want? I'll just type California. You could do this as a top 5 or top 10 list. There's channels that do really well that only do those types of lists. If you go that route, I'd recommend asking for 50 or 100 and then choosing the best ones from that. Or you can just expand on one. Like this story, the CIA secretly sprayed San Francisco with a bacteria to test the effects of a biological attack. That sounds crazy. And from here, you can already use the scripting prompt, which I'll cover later. But right there, we already have a solid short. Then you can do this for every state or every city, every country, or to take it a different direction, use that same prompt, but change the topic to secret CIA experiments. That's an intense rabbit hole I've been down too many times. Another route to take that's a couple more steps but leads to great results is this prompt. What are 10 websites that focus on presenting obscure and interesting facts? Then you can look through these websites, and if an article grabs your attention, it will probably also grab your viewers' attention. A bonus is this will also give you some images you can use in your videos if you want, plus some potential hooks and titles to work with. From here, you give that article to ChatGPT and ask it to convert it into a YouTube short script. So already you have endless ideas to pull from. I'd recommend you niche down into an area you find interesting. I'm particularly interested in dark or weird history. Here's a couple channels that do that. These are completely faceless. They just use public use footage and a voiceover. Now here's one of my first shorts on this channel. I unlisted all these a long time ago, but this is the video I watched on the topic. Then I condensed it down into a short. My long form content took off really quickly, so I didn't continue with that format, but that's actually how I started this channel and why the name is Obscurious. Then I went down the AI rabbit hole and pivoted completely. But that's actually another good note. You're not confined to any niche. You can change your channel name and your niche at any point. So pick something and run with it. But here's another unique approach. Let's switch it up to a different niche. Motivation and self-improvement is a great topic, something I'm a big fan of. Let's take a look at some of these channels. They're extremely popular and all faceless channels, but they don't have any short form content. So one method would be to click here and look at their most popular videos. Now we know there's demand for these topics and we ask ChatGPT to condense it down into a short. So go to transcript, toggle off timestamps, copy, then paste it into ChatGPT. Paraphrase this text into a compelling YouTube short script. Make sure to keep the most important points intact, but make it as concise as possible due to the time constraints. Boom, there's 100 shorts right there. So that works great. Here's another really effective option to find topics that there's currently high demand for, but may not be on YouTube yet. Take viral Twitter threads and ask ChatGPT to turn it into a script. To do that, you go on Twitter, follow a bunch of people that are in your niche. Then your For You feed will show you content that's currently going viral in your niche. So you'll know people find it interesting. And Twitter is where a lot of stuff breaks first. So there may be little or no videos about it on YouTube. Also, threads tend to be formatted in a very similar way to what works on shorts. They start with a really catchy hook to entice you to click on that show more button. So I follow a ton of AI accounts. I could take this thread, copy, paste it into ChatGPT, reformat and paraphrase this into a YouTube short script. If it's a long one, you can use that sentence from the other prompt. Boom, viral short. And for one more, I want to show you a way to break into a niche that's really oversaturated. Let's go with pets. If you look at some of the most popular channels, you'll see videos like the top 10 most family-friendly dog breeds. For a lot of niches, just remaking content with your own unique spin is a great option, but something like dogs, it'll be difficult to get initial traction if you start with videos like that. The approach I would take is see what's successful and do something in the same format, but with a completely different take. ChatGPT can help us here. Provide 10 out-of-the-box ideas for YouTube shorts about dogs. Focus on ideas that are unique and unconventional. So a ton of great stuff in here, or you could use that first prompt again. What are the 10 craziest yet widely unknown facts about dogs? And you can ask it to elaborate on any of these that you find compelling, but I might take it one step further. So it's no secret that controversial topics can get a lot of engagement. We can use that in any niche. Of course, be careful with this. Let's try it with dogs. What are 10 controversial topics related to dogs? So there's some good stuff. Like right here, I already know what this is talking about. Designer breeds and a lot of purebred dogs are the product of centuries of inbreeding, and that leads to a lot of health problems. And while that is true and interesting, someone that loves, say, golden retrievers may feel more compelled to engage with this, even though it's just stating a fact. So instead of the 5 most family-friendly dog breeds, you could try the 5 most inbred dog breeds. Again, there's a fine line here. Do this tastefully, all the caveats. This could just be things like pineapple on pizza. I'm not saying to go full Andrew Tate with it. Health and fitness, same boat. It's a great evergreen niche, but competitive. You can use those same prompts and replace the topic, or try this one. I need 10 YouTube Shorts ideas that will engage my audience with a unique and compelling perspective on health. So all these same prompts work for every one of these niches. Just try each one and replace the topic. For whichever niche you decide, you'll be able to get more than enough ideas from these. Really, the important part is to pick something and run with it. Analyze the results, make improvements. If it's not working, try something new. There's trial and error, but really it comes down to motivation and consistency. YouTube tends to have this snowball effect. It takes some time, but once you get traction, it starts to snowball and you grow exponentially. It can be a roller coaster, but hard work pays off. Let's move on to the script. This is actually pretty easy. So going back to these ideas, there were a ton of good ones. I'll just use this one as an example. Create an engaging YouTube short script for Operation Sea Spray. The first sentence needs to instantly capture attention and curiosity. Be as concise in your language as possible due to the time constraints. Make every sentence compelling or witty. With shorts, you need to grab people's attention immediately, so this wording helps a lot. Although for this one, I'm gonna remove witty. You can always modify these if it makes more sense for your topic. And once it comes back, I like to continue with this. Generate 3 alternatives that are, then depending on what the result was, more witty, compelling, shorter, etc. Then mix and match the best aspects. ChatGPT is really good at this, but adding that human touch will seal the deal. I kept this script pretty close to the original, but I cut out a couple sentences to shorten it. Also, I feel like the "what if I told you" is a little cheesy, so I just made it a statement instead. Also, a technique that can increase watch time on shorts is to make it loopable, so it starts replaying and you don't even notice. This can get you over 100% watch time, which looks great for the algorithm. So you can see how this sentence loops back around to the beginning, and I'll show you how to make that seamless in the editing. Now we just need a title. Create 10 creative and catchy title options. They should be short and attention grabbing. Avoid using cliches or generic titles. Depending on what you're creating, if it's like top 5 stuff, that's an easy title, but for a lot of other styles, it's a good idea to not give away the whole video in the title. If it's just an interesting fact, they'll read it in the title, learn it, and then swipe to the next. So I add this. Make it alluring and clickable without giving away the content. And with any of these steps, if you don't like what it comes back with, just say, give me 10 more. In the past, it was extremely time consuming to put all this together, but that's no longer the case. Let's dive into the editing platform InVideo. They are also the sponsor of this video. Basically, the way I approach any partnership is I not only have to like it and think it will be valuable for my audience, but I have to personally experience it and have success with it. I used to always put off making short form content consistently because I edit in Premiere Pro and it's really time consuming. The bottleneck has always just been time, and this makes it way faster. There will be a link in the description. You can use the code OM25 for a 25% discount. To export your videos, you will need a paid plan, and it is a significant discount to pay for it annually. It's pretty amazing how much comes with the platform. The monthly subscriptions I pay to run my channel for stock footage, music, editing, and everything else cost hundreds of dollars. So having an all-in-one platform without the steep learning curve is awesome. But of course, let's take a look at the platform first and edit a full video. So once we get in, we have a few options here. First is templates. There's thousands of them, and it's a great way to make content in bulk. They'll have all the text, animations, music, transitions, everything. You just switch out the text and video for your own. So that's a great option I'd recommend you test out. We'll be doing something similar, but using their AI features to generate even more for us. Over on the right is the editor, where you can start your edit from scratch. It's really intuitive and easy to use, but we're going to use the AI text to video. This is the fastest way to get things going. It will edit the full video just from our script. We'll switch to portrait since we're making a short. Select one that's relevant. Interesting historical facts will work perfect for this. And this is where we input the script. An important note here is it's going to add a transition every time there's a line break. So this should work well. And then just make sure you select iStock and Premium down here so it has more options to choose from. Then click Create Scenes. Then in a few seconds, it will have the full video. So this is the storyboard tab. It created a separate scene for every line break we had in the script. It added text for the whole thing, and it chose stock clips for each. I have these long sentences, so it's hard for it to find the perfect clip to match. So I'm going to select some new ones myself. So under videos is the entire stock footage library. I'll just search San Francisco for the first one. When you hover over a clip, you'll see a preview of what it will look like. And there's actually a clip of fog rolling over the Golden Gate Bridge. Doesn't get more perfect than that. So I'll drag that onto the layer to replace this clip, then select trim video to fit scene, drag which part of the clip I want, and then click add. And you can add multiple clips to each scene. So I actually found a couple screenshots of documents about Operation Sea Spray that I think will fit well. I'm going to add one in right here. So click upload and select the file, then drag it over. And you can click script at any time to go back to the overview, and then click play to see what a section looks like so far. So I'm going to do that exact same thing with each of these scenes, just adding relevant stock footage to each plus a couple screenshots. So since we're making this a loop, I added that same fog clip to the end. Okay, now we click over to editor to see everything on the timeline. We can also make more precise edits wherever it's needed. And the first thing I want to do is change the song. This would be great for other historical topics, but this one needs a little more ominous vibe. So I'll click music, then go down to dark and just test a couple out. This one is perfect. So add it to the timeline, and now we need the voiceover. There's the option to record one yourself within the platform, upload one you pre-recorded, or what I'll be using, automated text-to-speech. There's a bunch of realistic sounding voices.
The fog in San Francisco.
The fog in San Francisco.
The fog in San Francisco.
For this, I'm going to use Jack, then select add automated voiceover for all scenes, and it will sync it all up.
Fog in San Francisco once concealed a secret government experiment.
There's a couple other options you may want to use here. If you want it to look more like captions, back under script, you can separate the text easily. I'll do that in a couple spots. I'm also going to cut out a few pauses just so it moves a little faster since this is a short. So if you ever need to make a cut, set the playhead in the right spot and just click C. Now we're just about there, but with shorts in particular, to really draw someone in and increase retention, you need to do something interesting almost immediately or they'll swipe away. They make it really easy here under the Elements tab. So click on stickers and there's tons of good stuff in here. You can use animated emojis, money, buildings, animals. There's all sorts of stuff in here. Just find something that fits. In this case, there's actually a really cool animated Golden Gate Bridge. So that will work perfectly. Just drag that onto the canvas, make it a little bigger. And there's a bunch of options under effects that you can get creative with. We're trying to streamline things, so we don't want to go overboard. But I'll select the pixel glitch effect. That one looks pretty cool. And then under the animation tab, there's a ton of options as well. You can hover over to get an idea of what it will look like. Most of these stickers are animated by default, but I'll just add another one to the end so it slides off to the right. So that helps a lot. I'm going to add one to the first article too, so it slides in as the bridge is sliding out. And boom, that's all it takes to add some flair to the beginning. One more final touch you can add is the soundscape. That's back under music, then click SFX. There's a bunch of options. Really common ones would be whooshes, pop-ups, or impacts. I'll just drag a few on. You don't have to do all this stuff, but I want to show you what's available in here. And really doing all of that just so you can see what's in here only took a couple minutes. And once someone is sucked into a short, they'll usually finish watching. It's just those first like 3, maybe 5 seconds that are the most important. So let's take a look at this and then we'll get to one of the coolest features.
The fog in San Francisco once concealed a secret government experiment. Meet Operation Sea Spray, a classified operation by the U.S. Navy back in 1950. For 6 chilling days, the Navy sprayed a bacteria named Serratia marcescens from a ship into the air, exposing all of its 800,000 residents. This was top secret until the 1970s, when a Senate hearing blew its cover. So next time you see a fog rolling in, remember that the fog in San Francisco once concealed a secret government experiment.
So that's a really solid video. Then once you've used a template, the next time you use it will be much faster. So you could ask ChatGPT for ideas in every state with a similar vibe. Then ask it to create a script for each that's the same length. And then bust out all 50 videos in one sitting. So now that you've seen the platform, make sure to use the link down in the description, then enter the code OM25 to get 25% off. Then for more tips and tricks, subscribe to their YouTube channel. There's a ton of helpful videos. And now I want to show you one more thing I'm really excited about. Their new AI features are coming out soon. It looks amazing and all paid users will get access to it. So it's the perfect time to get familiar with the platform, then be one of the first people to make videos with this when it comes out. Here's some of the promo video.
What if all you need to create a video is an idea?
Pack a giant bubble wrap suit and roll into the black hole and explore your own private planet.
A giant bubble wrap suit, you'll see, will protect you from gravity's glee.